If you found this video, it's probably because you've started to outgrow the person you've been, and maybe you feel like there's a new you waiting to emerge. Well, you're not alone. I've been there too. In fact, many women stay stuck in life because they're living with an identity that no longer matches who they are, which keeps them trapped in a reality that doesn't feel aligned anymore. Today, we're going to change that. I created a concept called the identity edit, which is a blueprint for women's self-improvement. It's the process of reshaping the beliefs, patterns, and self-concept that define who you think you are so you can become the woman you actually want to be. Women often carry identities shaped by upbringing, cultural expectations, past relationships, or trauma, and these identities silently dictate how much you allow yourself to receive, what boundaries you hold, how confidently you speak, how you treat your body, or what you believe you deserve. But with the identity edit, we're going to rewrite those scripts. So grab a notepad and a pen, open that notes app, and let's get started. Okay, so I've broken the identity edit model down into 4 steps. 1. Identity awareness. 2. Identity audit. 3. The identity edit. And 4. Identity embodiment. Starting with step 1, identity awareness. Number 1 is all about identity awareness, and this is about recognizing the identity you've been operating from. Psychology says that the first step to healing anything is acknowledgement, because how can you change something that you don't know is there in the first place? Improving your life doesn't start with motivation, doesn't start with discipline or routines. And don't get me wrong, those things are great in the long run, but to begin the journey, it starts with identifying and editing the identity that's behind every choice that you make. In other words, finding and fixing the root cause. Now, I want you to get disgustingly honest with yourself, because this is between you and you alone. Reflect and make a note of who the person you show to the world is, and I say reflect because oftentimes we show up as this person through automatic behaviors and habits that you unconsciously repeat. I want you to ask yourself these questions and write the answers down. What beliefs have shaped my choices? What roles have I been performing at work, at home, in my relationships? Which habits no longer feel like me? What stories have I been living by without even noticing? I want you to think beyond just what you do, because your identity isn't just your actions. A major part of it is what you believe about yourself. For example, some identities women often carry are things like, I'm the reliable one, I don't ask for help, I settle, I'm not good with money, I always put others first. These could have been identities that have been placed on you externally by family, exes, culture, and you just ran with them without questioning. Personally, I don't ask for help, and that's something I've always struggled with, and I think it keeps me in a masculine state of mind because I feel like I can do everything by myself. And being honest with myself, I can get a lot done alone, but I cannot get everything done by myself. I realized this, and I've been practicing being open and asking for help. So be honest with yourself here, and then move on to the next set of questions I want you to reflect on. When do I feel drained or stuck, and what identity is behind that? Which parts of myself do I hide to fit in or meet expectations? And which roles or beliefs have I inherited from family, culture, or past experiences? And finally, what do I keep doing because it feels safe, not because it actually fits me? Okay, so now that you've answered those questions, we can move on to number 2, the identity audit. Okay, so now that you've answered those questions, we can move into step 2, which is the identity audit. And this is where things really start to shift. This is where you take everything you uncovered in the identity awareness stage and bring it to the light. It's important to not judge yourself when you do this, and it's easier said than done, but try to approach this with honesty, not shame. So I'm going to make this a little fun. I want you to think of your beliefs, patterns, and habits as pieces in your wardrobe. Some pieces fit perfectly. They make you feel confident, powerful, and fully yourself. Others, they're tight, cheap material, or completely outdated. And yet, for some reason, you've been wearing them every day. Grab your notebook and let's do a quick closet check. Okay, so write down each belief, habit, or identity you've been carrying. Next to each one, label it keep, alter, or discard. Keep are pieces that empower you and align with the woman you want to become. Alter are pieces that need adjusting, maybe a small tweak, but we can make them work for you. Discard are the ones that no longer serve you. It's time to stop wearing them. And here's the fun part. Imagine trying on the upgraded version of you. How does she move? How does she show up? How does she speak, act, and even think? By the end of this exercise, you're going to have a much clearer picture of what to let go and what to elevate, which is exactly what creates space for the new empowered version of you. An identity audit is the turning point because it separates what you've been from what you're becoming. It teaches you that you don't have to stay loyal to outdated beliefs, old roles, or the stories that kept you small. This is where you begin clearing the space for the new identity to emerge. Okay, moving on to part 3, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. This is where the transformation begins with the identity edit. Now that you've uncovered who you've been and evaluated what no longer serves you, it's time to intentionally step into the woman you want to become. Think of this as scripting your future self. So I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine the version of you who feels aligned, confident, and fulfilled. Picture her energy, how she speaks to herself and about herself, the boundaries she holds, and the love she allows herself to receive. Then think about the smaller details like the morning routines, her interactions, and her decision making. Now put that vision into words. Create identity statements, simple sentences that describe this upgraded version of you. For example, I am a woman who honors her boundaries without guilt. I am a woman who takes up space with confidence. I am a woman who invests in her appearance and well-being every day. I am a woman who receives support and allows help to flow to me. Once you have your statements, breathe them in and visualize living them fully. When your inner identity shifts, your outer life naturally follows. Think of the brain as a muscle. If you keep feeding it with the right things and exercising it regularly, it will grow into the right direction. Every time you envision yourself as this new version, you're strengthening that neural pathway. Just like a muscle, it doesn't grow overnight. It needs consistent repetition, small adjustments, and reinforcement. Some days will feel effortless and others will feel like a struggle, and that's normal. Each time you notice an old habit or belief, it's like spotting weak muscles you need to strengthen. With time and patience, what once felt unnatural becomes automatic. Your new identity doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. Step 4, identity embodiment. Step 4 is where everything becomes real. This is where you stop waiting to feel confident, ready, or perfect, and you start practicing the identity you've chosen today. Embodiment isn't about forcing a whole new life overnight. It's about small deliberate actions that align with your upgraded identity. Micro actions like speaking up in a meeting even if your voice shakes, walking into a room with open shoulders instead of shrinking yourself, choosing rest without apologizing for it, saying no the first time instead of the third, or investing in yourself. These small actions matter more than you think, and here's where the science comes into it. I want to explain why embodiment works, because it's not just a mindset thing, it's neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire itself based on repetition. Every belief you've ever had, every habit you've ever repeated, every role you've played, they created neural pathways. Think of them like grooves on a road. The more you drive down them, the deeper they get. When you start behaving like the woman you want to become, even in the smallest ways, you're carving out brand new pathways. Your brain actually releases something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which acts like a fertilizer for these new neural connections. It helps these new identity pathways grow, stabilize, and become easier to access. So when you hold a boundary, ask for help, choose not to shrink, make a healthier financial choice, or treat your body with care, your brain isn't just registering the moment, it's literally reshaping itself around it. Meanwhile, the old identity pathways start to weaken because you're no longer feeding them. Your brain is always adapting to who you're becoming. This is why embodiment is so powerful. It turns a new identity from an idea into your default. Remember, new identity work is like training a muscle. Repetition builds strength, consistency builds confidence, embodiment builds the woman you're stepping into. You do not have to do this perfectly. You just have to show up as her a little more each day. And that, my darlings, is the identity edit. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you take everything that I spoke about today on board. I think it's incredibly important, especially around this time of year where we're wanting a change. January 1st is around the corner. I mean, why make it a New Year resolution when you can start now? Let's not wait for whatever the calendar says. Let's start with your personal calendar, because tomorrow isn't promised, and you can make a decision today, right now, that will change your life by tomorrow, even tonight. So I'm going to leave things here, my darlings, and thank you for joining me on this video. I hope that you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment about what you think. If you implement this into your life, come back and let me know how it went for you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.